here in Venice. We just finished our final exams. Congratulations. I understand you've now graduated from your MBA program. Here in Venice is a pretty good spot to graduate from. So I was wondering just to get your impression of the trip. What were your highlights? What was your experience?
Oh, the highlights was definitely being able to travel and see so many neat things, but what the balance was really great was between classes and being able to travel. We have classes for a couple hours a day, most days of the week, and that gives us plenty of time to travel around and see different things in the evenings and at night. We've had some amazing meals. I kind of feel like I've eaten my way through most of this trip. I don't think any of my clothes fit anymore, but that's okay.
Well, you bought all new ones, so that's all right.
That's true, I did, and I threw away my old ones. So, you know, you have to just plan for those things sometimes.
Yeah, so I agree. I mean, one of the reasons I think we both chose this program was for the amount of traveling. Our school offered programs to, I think, to Dubai and Chile, but they're pretty similar. You spend 2 weeks in the country, but I'm a pretty avid traveler. The ability to go to Barcelona, Paris, and go to Belgium is attractive to me.
Yeah, it's definitely really great to be able to do both things at the same time, and a lot of people say that you're not spending enough time in each city, which is true. 3 days is not a lot of time, but it's just enough time to whet your appetite. If you've never traveled before, you definitely want to come back, and you know, this could be the start of something new for you. And if you have traveled before, it's a really good introduction to a lot of different cultures that you've maybe never been exposed to before.
Yeah, it's a good teaser for Europe. You know, you spend a few days in each city, you get a little taste, and you can always come back for more.
Yeah, definitely.
So where are you guys from? Tell us about your background. You came from George Washington University?
Yeah, we're both in our MBA program. I'm actually from Pakistan originally, but I grew up in Kuwait and I've been living in DC for several years. And this was the last 6 credits I needed to graduate today.
Congratulations.
And same as Samaya, I go to George Washington. I'm finishing up my MBA program, though I have one more semester. I went to undergrad at William & Mary, and I've been in DC for a long time now. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
And why did you think it was important to do a study abroad in general? A study abroad, not specifically Forum-Nexus, but why did you think study abroad was important to your educational experience?
Well, it sure beats sitting in class at school in freezing cold DC and in one classroom taking classes for hours and hours. No, but I mean, really, I think the reason we both thought about taking the program was just having the ability to travel around and study at the same time. And I think some people might have questions about how much studying you get done while you're traveling, but the way the program is organized, the projects that we have really incorporate you in the culture, and we have some professional visits where you see how business is done in Europe, which is also a really neat thing for us to see, especially as business students. It's really important for us to see that, and it's different when you read about it in books and in the newspaper, but it's completely different when you actually get one-on-one experience and meeting with the professionals and the executives and the companies and getting to get some face time and ask them questions about, you know, how they run their business and how it's different from what we're used to.
And do you think that traveling is
a lot of company or a lot of MBA programs kind of promote the global MBA, and you know, our schools, you know, we're all global MBA students, but it's one thing to study about, you know, international business and all that stuff in the classroom, you know, in DC in our one location. It's another thing to go, you know, to a place like Venice and study cross-cultural communication, and then go out in the evenings and try to actually, you know, take the theory and apply it to the real world. So that was another reason why I think we both chose.
Now you both took a cross-cultural communications course,
right.
Cross-cultural management. Now our group was quite cross-cultural as well. Do you find that you learned a lot from the other students about
definitely
living together?
I think in our group we had Brazil represented, Mexico, States, Egypt, and then a few mixed backgrounds like this one. Yeah, I think the diversity really played a big role in my education. The Forum-Nexus program in general kind of promotes this thing called cultural IQ, and we learned about it in class. But it's also like fun to hear, like, you know, the Brazilian girl's perspective on America, and then, you know, my perspective on Brazil, and also how business is conducted there, and what cultural norms are there versus here. So,
do you think it changed your perspective on a number of different countries, or what do you think changed the most during this program?
I think the way I described it earlier was, I have a computer science background and I went to business school. Like, and business is always just one big glob for me. It's like, it's business. And like, now that I'm an MBA, I know, like, what is business? Business is finance, it's accounting, it's strategy, it's components. And my mentality was kind of the same way about, like, I knew about Europe and I knew about the Western countries, but like, now, like, Spain is more than just Spain to me. Like, it's like the the different like states or areas within Spain. It's Catalonia, it's Basque, it's all these things, and I think the cultural IQ really helped me refine my knowledge or take it like one step further down. So it's not Italy anymore, it's the different regions of Italy and the leaders of Italy and the prime minister and all those little details is kind of what I took out of the cultural IQ part.
Now, Dr. Hurwitz, he has a concept called international IQ that he thinks is really important for the students to catch. Tell me, did you catch the international IQ bug from Dr. Hurwitz?
You know, I did. I'm not going to lie, I was a little apprehensive going into it because I have traveled. It wasn't my first time outside the country, so I rated myself pretty high in my international IQ. What I didn't realize was how much I didn't know. Not only can I draw the entire map of Europe now.
Not just Western Europe.
Yeah, Eastern Europe also. But it's more than that. Like Chris mentioned, you know, it's about knowing different things, a little bit about the history, the geography, the culture, the climate, just of the different countries themselves. And not only is that good for our own knowledge, but also good for when we travel and meet other people at work. You know, with the world becoming as globalized as it is, you know, in one team at work, I have someone from Brazil, someone from India, someone from China. And so being able to relate to everyone on different levels means truly knowing something about their culture. You know, not just being able to talk to them about surface business things. And I think that having a basic knowledge of their culture and their history and their politics really helps level the playing field when you're speaking to people.